Hi, this is Kath Smyth, and this is our first adventure into the garden centers of the season. And this is a sort of a session where we get to know your local garden center. Hi, Colin.
Good morning, Kath.
How are you?
I am very good, all things considered. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Excellent.
It's so exciting to be back in a garden center.
I know, right? It's spring
This is the time. So what have you noticed in these times of change, etc.? What are you thinking is going to happen in the garden center business?
I mean, we don't know. At the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen, but the trend we're seeing that's mind-blowing is seeds. Especially focused on food production. Vegetables are exploding out of here. They started earlier, they're going longer, and it's pretty incredible to see. They're essentially our toilet paper.
Well, exactly, and I was just going to throw that one at you, because that was the quote I heard early on, was that.
Yep.
So, from there, what do you think is going to be the next thing people are going to come in and
I think it's going to be a progression. I think now that the seeds are done and people get it in their mind that it's too late now to start seeds, which we know it isn't, but they believe it is. And especially now that we've got the pre-grown, the starter herbs and veggies coming in, I think people are going to migrate onto those now. And especially the ones that don't have the confidence to do the seeding, they're going to go onto those as well. That's what I believe.
That's what you believe?
Yeah.
All right, so Colin, what do you think people are going to ask you? Ask them, what do you recommend when they get it home, and what are they going to do with it?
So I will always recommend, on the nice days like we're having this week, get it outside, but bring it in the evenings. We've got to harden off all of them. Those tender shoots aren't going to like any kind of cold frost, cold temperature, and we're still at risk for that. Harden them off. If you've got them in pots, put them out, bring the whole pot inside. Slowly harden them off, and stick to that May-long weekend as kind of that's the date when you want to get things out. But keep an eye on the weather. It could be earlier, it might be later. If we have a frost that weekend, don't think it's safe to put them out. So you got to be very aware of a lot of moving parts here.
So do you think you're going to bring in a lot more vegetable starters?
Yes, I mean the plan is that's what we would like to. There is definitely a need. We're seeing it, we're hearing it on our social media and in store. The problem is we put our orders in the year before, so if the growers haven't grown them, then we're coming right back to our seeds.
Yes, you're running out. We're running out. But you know what? We don't want to facilitate or push that shortage thing.
No.
Because there's always more things that people can grow.
The only thing that could possibly run out are things that have been pre-grown, simply because plants take time to grow, but we haven't run out of seeds. There's been a couple of times when we've sold out, they've come in the next day. Where we've never had empty shelves. Unlike the toilet paper, we replenish the next day. So we're good to go. And the ones that were grown by the professional growers, obviously we won't be able to get any more of those in this year, which is a shame. But nobody saw this coming.
No, we sure didn't.
Yeah.
None of us did. So what are you most excited about for this year, for this season?
There's two things I'm most excited about. Is we have a new product called the Veggie Pod, and it's a raised planter from Australia.
Okay.
It's phenomenal. It's available online, in store, and the design and the work they've done. It's one of the most exciting ways I've seen to grow veggies in your garden for many years. It's an excellent product. And the other thing, speaking as a gardener, I'm loving seeing new people want to get involved. A lot of the people buying these seeds haven't gardened before.
Yes.
And I want them to be successful, because there's nothing I enjoy more than seeing other people enjoying getting their hands dirty, growing their food, and learning about the joys of gardening. So
exactly, and it's a joy.
It really is.
Something that brings a better heart to our hearts, right?
Yep, 100%.
Exactly.
They say gardening is akin to meditation, and I believe it. I really feel that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Colin
Thank you,
Hills
Kath.
and the staff at Golden Acre Garden Center, and we're going to have a little walk around. So
Excellent.
I might have to talk to you again. If I were looking at a label now, what I really am enjoying is the fact that you can just take and turn it this way and you can read all the information without having to yank it out of the pot and losing it. So here I am in the beginnings of Golden Acre's perennial department. They tell me that they're getting more perennials this week. In fact, today being Wednesday, tomorrow being Thursday, they will get a first load. What I have here though are lilies, the lovely Asian lilies, and I'm looking at these and I'm going, wow, beautiful. And if I were having a problem with lily beetle, and since we're starting to see less and less of them, this would be the way I would go, is to buy maybe a couple of plants just to have a lily back in my garden. And what I like about lilies is they are a bulb. And bulbs are extremely drought tolerant because they store a lot of their energy in their bulb. And if they get in trouble in a dry period, they just live a little bit off the flesh of their bulb and they keep on going. Something that I wanted to mention, and I'm always talking about, are water-wise plants. Plants that tolerate a long period of drought. And one of my favorites has always been the penstemons. Now this penstemon is the Husker's dark red as a rule, but this is a newer version of it, and it is, I have to turn it around, it is called Dakota Burgundy, and has a lovely deep pink flower on it, but what I particularly enjoy about any of the red penstemons is this incredible burgundy foliage, and it does well in a nice sunny spot in your garden, and it doesn't need, once you get it established, it won't need a lot of water. And another one that I want to talk about and mention, this particular plant is a liatris, and liatris are native to our area. There are some, the originals are very thin leaf. This one is quite beautiful, but this is liatris. What's really great about these, not only are they a bulb, they are also very drought tolerant, and what they really, really like is hot sun, and the butterflies and the bees just love this purple flower. So something to consider when you're looking for long periods of dry, get it established and it will love itself. And remember, it's a bulb, just like I was talking about with lilies. Recalling my conversation just now with Jeanette and Barb from Golden Acre, and they were telling me about all the things that they're excited about. Jeanette's excited about the calabricoa, and the calabricoa she was mentioning were dreamsicle and starry night, and I may have those wrong, but there's petunias as well, and probably my favorite of all the petunias is bubblegum. And bubblegum is one of those sprawling petunias that doesn't overwhelm you like wave petunias. But when I look at all these annuals, I get excited from the standpoint of the annuals are starting to come. So spring is really starting to feel like it. The trucks are going to start rolling in tomorrow from what I hear. There's vegetables. They're going to have a full assortment of vegetable bedding trays in on the weekend. So I think it's time to see the garden centers be open. Here finishes our visit to Golden Acre Garden Center. Some of the things that I walked through where they had their potting mixes, looked at the mulch. I was particularly liking the bigger chunk mulch, but that's me because I like the texture. Then we walked into the greenhouse where they right now are keeping a lot of the annual plants, and I was looking. With great longing and hard resistance, I resisted the urge to buy a new begonia. I looked at the geraniums, and then I saw, and then I see, oh my goodness, They have succulent trays, the 6-packs. Those are very, very interesting because you could make a whole pot of what they've got in their assortment. We are looking at these beautiful sunflowers, and if that doesn't make you think summer's coming, those were beautiful, and they are a lemon color, so pretty. I wanted to then go and started looking and trying really hard. I'm trying really hard to resist buying some of the miniature roses because they're cold hardy, so I might take one home and put it in a pot. And then they had the bright red petunias and they had lobelia. So here I am, I'm already planning and thinking about what I'm going to do this summer. But that ends our visit at Golden Acre Garden Center, and I want to thank them so much. I was particularly enjoying my conversations with Jeanette and with Barb today. Barb was telling me about a great new potentilla. Sounds exciting, but the best thing she told us about was there is a rose coming out for Eagle Lake Nursery's 50th anniversary, and it's from a really great, it's a yellow rose and it's a cross, but it's called Eagle Lake Nursery. Thanks so much for watching.